I know all of you want to see hype enemies with action and people killing each other left and right with superpowers, but today I'm not gonna talk about any of these shitty enemies that you all like. By the way, I don't know why I always talk to multiple people in my videos, because I'm literally talking to myself with no views. Okay, let's focus on the topic. Have you heard of a natural phenomenon called earthquakes? If not, then consider a visit to a first grade class to get some knowledge. Okay, now for the people who know what earthquake is, the enemy is about it. I know after this intro you expected me to talk about rockets. Let's talk about the enemy and stop fucking around, because I can do this shit all day. The enemy starts with a line that really caught my attention: striving for a sense of realism. Many simulations were thought of to create this original story. It's been so long since I've seen the word realism and the enemy go together, because I only watch enemies with overpowered MC that come out victorious without breaking a sweat. One of the most terrifying things are actually not human-made weapons, but nature. The story is about a young girl called Mirai and her little brother Yuki. Mirai, although she's young, but she does everything in the house by herself because her mother is always at work. On one day, she had to accompany her little brother to see the robots, and the unexpected happened. A massive earthquake hit the center of Kanto region. All the things that she was upset of suddenly disappeared, and the only thought in her head is her brother and that she should find him in the cracked building. Mari helped her to find her brother and continued to help them to get to their home safely because they are going on the same way. The enemy was released in 2010, and the animation and art is not great, but you will find that it's not important at all, because your whole focus will be on the story and what they're gonna do next. Like for example, every time one of the siblings is lost from one another and the feeling of relief when they find each other. Now, a lot of people may hate Mirai for her pessimism and how she always acts like a grown-up, but she is just a scared young girl in the middle school. Plus, her luck is like mine. If she wants to take a shit, there are tons of people on the long line waiting to take a shit, and they start a fight out of nowhere because our lucky girl Mirai is there. If she's casually walking on the street, someone will step on her foot. If she's casually walking again on the street and no one stepped on her foot, then someone will push her. If she wants to take the food, guess what will happen? It will fall in the mud first, of course. After several aftershocks, they have to rest, and one of the most amazing characters is introduced, and he is that guy, Furuichi-san. He helped and gave them water and cool place, among others, so they could rest. He's doing all this help with a big burden on his shoulders. His dearest grandchildren died in the earthquake the day before. On their way to get back home, they have a lot of walking to do because there is no safe transportation. On their way, they face a lot of obstacles, but the really amazing thing is that with every event, Mirai, the sister, realized the small things that she never thought of before. Her brother, his smile, she caring about him and about his health, his heavy bag that he has been carrying throughout the walk. Now, she is really taking care of him as a big sister after they were fighting all the time in the past. Even Mari, the woman who helped them along the way, she tries to hide her feelings and to be tough for the sake of the two kids. But even she can't but to let her fear take over her. It's really hard to stay sane and not let overwhelming amount of thinking take over. Yes, she is the adult, but even small reassuring words from a middle school girl calmed her down. Now, to be honest, I felt bored in the middle of the enemy because there is nothing appealing, and then I realized that it's just real. Most of our lives are actually boring, so after a bit of thinking, it felt normal or natural to be that way. They are just normal people trying to return back to their homes and families. Big spoilers ahead. If you don't want to hear them, skip to. Mari's home is closer than the two. She wants to go back as fast as possible to see her daughter and mother because there was a big fire around the area that she lived in. When she arrived, she found the home, but it was already burned. Luckily, her daughter and mother were safe. Mirai, although she's young, but she realized that this was the end of their trip together, and now they need to continue alone without anyone's help. We slowly start to realize that Yuki is acting weird, disappearing, running around, and asking weird questions. Then we see at the end that Yuki, the little innocent brother that we all liked, was in fact dead. Man, that was heartbreaking to see, and it was a lot for Mirai to handle. So she starts imagining him as a way to make her somehow forget the fact that her little brother is dead and will never come back. But at least he did not leave her until she got home safely. I really like this enemy. It's great to take a break from the generic enemies that we all weebs like. I don't want to make this video too long. I just want to let you know about this enemy and really hope you check it out. Okay, that was all for today's video. Hope you all liked it. If you did, check out my last video. I talked about an enemy with god tier animation. Okay, bye.